Hello, it's Valiant Peak again, and this is the third video in our series looking at the PreTents range, which is brand new on the market and brand new to us in the UK. In fact, we're currently the only stockists of this range in the UK. Like all three tents that we will feature so far, they all are of very high quality fabrics and components, and this one is probably right at the top end in that it's a four-season, two-person mountain style tent, alpine style tent, but with some added extras and flexibility, which means that you could use this for four-season backpacking as well. So let's have a look at just go around the tent to start with. You can see that we've got two crossover trekking poles. These are DAC 8.5mm, very strong, high quality again. And let's have a look at very quickly, let's have a look at, while we're here, the venting system. So you've got a strut system which you can, because of the zip, you can adjust when you're inside the tent so you don't have to get out. And you've got a nice little system here just to tighten everything up so that that doesn't flap in any particular winds. You've also got exactly the same configuration on the other side as well. Let's go down and have a look at this. These poles go into, on one side go into two grommets like that, depending on how you want to space them. Pegged down using DAC aluminium tent pegs. And then you've got this, you may have a bit of a shadow following me here, my shadow following me. And then you've got four guys that come on the top of the pole here and also down here, and they go down to a aluminium DAC V peg there. And you can see here again, really nice sort of features. Can you just see that? These are all metal and even got the PreTents logo on it. Real nice touch on that. So we'll have a look in a minute inside, but I just wanted to show you the other end of the pole here. So you can see here the other end of the pole. One was on a grommet and one goes into a sort of reinforced foot area here. So that's effectively the outside of it. Again, you can see the second vent there. And the great thing about this as well, and we'll go through the various options, you can strengthen this up even more by adding a third pole which runs, if you imagine the middle of that door there, runs over the top of the roof inside and down the other side, so you can strengthen this up even more. So what I'm going to do is to go through here. So again, with the PreTents, you've got rainbow zippers. Should have done this, perhaps filmed this when the sun was a bit higher. Hope you don't mind me in this thing. But what I've put in here is two winter mats. You can see this one is actually an X-Bed winter mat. Two Valiant Peak classic quilts in here, and this one is a Thermarest winter mat. Loads of room in here. I'm going to just take my shoes off. Bear with me a second. Let's get inside. So actually we've got bag space here. So as you know, I'm not ultra tall, but there'll be plenty of room for someone who's 6 foot at least, or maybe more. Now let's have a look what we've got in here. Up here is the little zip here which gets you into the strut system for the ventilation. There's also, you can tighten this up a bit, just tighten everything down as well inside. So that's how you get to the strut system. It's an all mesh tent inside to keep the weight down. Another door this side, a rainbow zipper, and we've got 4 pockets. 1, 2, 3, and the other side 4 there. So plenty of pockets, plenty of room. Plenty of room also for kit in here as well. Now, you haven't got, as you can see, in this configuration, a vestibule as such, but what you could do is to pull back that, pull back the ground chute there, because all the stuff's on clips, and then that'll give you a bigger area if you wanted to do some cooking inside. You've also got, and we'll go to it in a minute, we'll swing around, you also got an optional extra vestibule which you can add on here, really big, and I'll sort that out in a minute and we'll get back to you. So I've now put the 3rd pole in, which you can do actually with the tent up if you need to, but it might be easier to start off that way. But if it got really windy, you could manage to secure the pole. You can see at the top there, I think you can, that it's just secured by a little twist, plastic twist at the top, and down here it's velcroed. Can you see that? Velcroed. So it goes all the way there. There's a pre-bent section just there, and then both ends go into, let's see if we can find that, go into a grommet there. So that gives you some additional support in really extreme weather. The other thing which you can do with this pole is actually use it for the optional vestibule. So I'm going to do that now. Hi, so we've now taken the 3rd pole and used it in the vestibule. So the pole is here, and the vestibule is attached here, if you can see that, attached here underneath this rain protector, using not plastic clips but real good quality metal clips all the way down, and then secured, as you can see here, with a clip here which you can adjust accordingly. There's also a velcro bit there, so you can add this vestibule onto the end, which gives you substantially more room for gear storage or cooking. It's pegged out here, I'll put a peg in that one. You've got some extra guy lines each side, pegging here, again all the good quality in all of these tents, reinforced on every pegging point. And then you've got, as you can see here, a little plastic clip to take the strain off the zipper. Let's go inside the vestibule. So you can see that that's the outer door as it was. Just let you know that you've got, if you're not using the vestibule, you've got an additional guying point there. There's the outer end, you're guying down here, so you can get inside the vestibule, and there's plenty of room. It's difficult to show in here, but where my foot is there, back round to this point here, is 1 metre in length, or 3 feet 6 inches, so plenty of room to get in. And I'm just going to undo this here, give you a slightly better idea if I can do that one-handed. Never easy. I always find these videos using something on a tripod, a bit difficult when you have to go in and out of tents. I don't tend to use them. But that's enclosed like that. Now I'm hoping you can see that. There's a zip and that goes down to there, all the way around. So that's another option, that's an optional extra. Loads and loads of kit storage. A good area to get out if you're doing a bit of cooking as well. And you can put this on either end and you can have 1 or 2 vegetables depending on what you want. So they always say leave the best bit to the end or best bit to the last. What I've done now is to take the inner completely out of this, and the overall weight of the inner and outer combined is 1900 grams. By taking out the inner, I'm saving just shy of 500 grams, so about getting on for about a third of the weight. So I now have an absolute bomber shelter, which you could use either solo or as a 2-person for around about 1.4 kilos, 1400 grams. Let's have a quick look in here. So let's get inside. You can see now I've got masses of room. I've still got the good ventilation in there. I've taken the inner out. What I've done is just put one of our Valiant Peak ground sheets down. I've got loads of room here. I can sit up really nicely. The door goes in one of these door pockets. There's another one there that you can put in the other door if you wanted to. But of course, actually then it becomes quite a handy little pocket for storage as well. I can seal myself up in here, ventilate both sides in the door, and you've got a really good bomber tent now. Bomber tarp, I suppose, in a way. I could also look at other configurations as well, so they're a very flexible tent, this. Or I can put one of our Valiant Peak Ultra Bivvies inside as well for a bit more warmth and a bit extra protection. Very simple. Just tie them up to these little rings here. So all in all, this tent, the Ridgeline, has a myriad of possibilities really. As a single skin tent like this, almost bomber tarp, where you can just have a ground sheet down, or a bivvy like this, or put the inner back in, and a 2-person tent, 1-person tent, a tent with 1 vegetable or 2 vegetables. You make the choice. There's lots of opportunities for flexibility with this tent. Thanks very much for watching.